Welcome to Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, back again with another episode, y'all. In this episode, I'm going to be talking to Reggie, family friend, somebody that I've always looked up to and valued his word, his opinion about things. This brother I never would have thought would be in prison, but he is. And his story is compelling. It is to me anyway, because, you don't have to be out in the streets selling drugs, robbing, killing, raping to end up in here. You can find yourself in a situation that in the blink of an eye, you can lose your freedom. This man is not, in my opinion, a criminal. He's not somebody that can't be trusted. He just didn't live that lifestyle, but he found himself in a situation that resulted in someone being killed. And because of that, he has a second-degree murder conviction where he was sentenced to 20 years and he's got 7 years on. I'm going to let him tell what he's comfortable with telling in his story, and but I want you to get to know this person. I want you to get to know him. I'm going to get him to tell you about his life, what his life was like out there. And I'm doing that because I want you to understand that you can have all the things in life that we think we should have and what we work for and all of these things, but all it takes is one lapse in judgment. One lapse in judgment, and it's gone. So with that, I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then I'm going to start asking him some questions, and we're going to get to it. What's up, bro?
Good morning, fam. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good. That's been good. I'm good. This is Reggie, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, dig that.
So,
Yeah, he. If he sounds a little nervous, give him a few minutes. He's like everybody else. He'll get over it, and then this interview will roll on. Yeah. I've been trying to get him to sit down with me for a long time, and he's just was reluctant to do it. I understand that.
Yeah.
But Reggie, tell everybody where you're from.
Yeah, I'm from Springfield.
Springfield, Tennessee.
Springfield, Tennessee.
The Yellow Jackets.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Springfield Yellow Jackets.
Home of the Yellow Jackets.
Dig that, man.
1980 grad.
1980. Man.
Yeah.
What was I doing? And I can't even remember what I was doing in 1980.
You was young.
I was a youngin'. Yeah, dig that. So you graduated from Springfield High School, right?
Yes, yeah.
What did you do after you graduated from
I went to the United States Air Force.
You joined the Air Force?
Yeah, went to the Air Force.
You went into the Air Force.
Traveled, did a lot of traveling, man. It was nice. I really enjoyed it.
Where did you travel?
Well, I went to Kadena Air Base in Okinawa, Japan. Went to the Philippines, Korea, and all that while I was over there.
Yeah.
18 months. I got Airman of the Quarter over there and got a incentive flight in the F-15 fighter jet. Yeah, that was nice. They wrote home in the hometown news release for that. You know, that was something nice, man. I never forget that.
Yeah.
Then went from there down to Langley Air Force Base in Hampton, Virginia, which was nice. That was really nice. And then from there down to Fort Walton Beach at Herbert Field Air Force Base.
Yeah. So, okay. How long did you stay in the Air Force?
8 years. 8 years.
8 years. Yeah, 8 years. After that, where did you live?
Yeah, I went on back home for a few years, worked there at UNARCO, and then from there, moved on to Bridgestone and stayed there for the next 22 and a half years.
Wow. 22 and a half years. Yeah. Always been stable.
Oh, yeah, man.
Always been employed.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, doing that.
Made good money out there, man.
Yeah.
A home and everything.
So, where did you live most of the time? You lived in Springfield and where else?
From Springfield, then to Antioch, then out to Smyrna.
Springfield, Antioch, and Smyrna. Living good.
Yeah.
Nice home.
Yeah, it was nice.
Nice home.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any struggles in life? Did you ever go through anything that might have that people can relate to? You know, did you drink? Did you smoke? Did you have did you lift weights? What? Tell me some of the activities that you did. Did you like to cook out?
All that.
Barbecue.
All that.
Tell me some of the things that you did.
Cooking out, lifting weights. I did all that. I started lifting the weights, you know, when I was in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then of course, being in the military, everyone
Worked out.
enjoyed working out and
Right.
drinking, you know, so I believe that's when I started actually drinking a whole lot.
When you were in the military?
I was in the military. That's where it started, yeah.
Dig that.
You know,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. You started drinking in the military. How old were you when you took your first drink?
oh, wow. Well, I was hanging out with the fellas up at the basketball court.
Oh, this is before you went into
Yeah, man.
before you went into the military.
Yeah,
You
I
took
had
your
my
first drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the basketball court.
At the Cracker Box. Y'all don't know nothing about the Cracker Box. This is it's a
man.
spot in Springfield, man. It's basketball and tennis court in this area.
Yeah. That was after the Cracker Box.
Oh, it's after the
Yeah,
Cracker.
that's when I moved up on the hill.
Oh,
Or at the
okay.
big basketball court.
Oh, up on the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we
Okay.
used to hang up under the shade tree.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sitting on the milk crates and sitting
Yeah,
right there in
yeah.
front of the tree.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no doubt. I feel you.
Well,
I
we
feel
had our
you.
little quartz of beers, but quartz was in style.
Yeah, quartz was in style back then. You know, what was y'all drinking back?
Oh, it
Black
was-
Label or
Oh, no.
what was y'all
some
drinking?
Strohs.
Stroll.
And Schlitz malt liquor
Schlitz
bull.
malt liquor in the blue bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue bottle.
Blue and silver. There you
Yeah,
go.
dig that. Okay. So what? After you got out of the military, what was life like? You know, you worked. You told us that you worked.
Yeah.
What did you do in your leisure? You say you worked out. Did you enjoy concerts, movies, sports?
Oh,
Tell us.
man. I did a lot of, well, I started out doing pretty good, you know, lifting the weights. Then I stopped lifting because
Wow.
I was, you know, mostly working. And
Yeah.
then I believe that's when my drinking habits, you know, started a little
Picked
bit.
up?
Picked up a little bit. Then.
Why do you think that was? I mean, you've always been, you know, the type of brother that exercised and worked out. And I understand why you might have slacked up because you were working a lot, but you were always health conscious, as far as I knew.
Right.
So, what reason do you think you turned to drinking? What was the reason? You know what I
Well-
mean? Just to relax or what?
Well, it was a lot of entertaining, really. You know,
A lot of
entertaining people
Coming to the house?
my house.
Ah,
you know,
okay.
To cut down on going to the clubs where it started getting wild, and the wrong crowds coming in and fighting and shooting and all that kind of stuff at the clubs. Mm-hmm. So I just started. I had a nice home.
Yeah, so you have a
So-
mature crowd. You know
Right,
who's coming
yeah.
over, and so you were
Right.
doing, a lot of
Well-
entertaining and a lot of drinking. You know what I'm saying, at your house.
Drinking,
You wasn't
at the
out and
house,
about.
cooking out, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Right, you wasn't out and about doing all that kind of stuff.
No.
Right. Just enjoying life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you think at any point it got out of hand for you, the drinking? And did you ever realize that, or did you ever notice that, or did anybody in your family ever tell you that?
Well, family members had started telling me that.
Oh, family. Okay, that's news to me. Okay, so
Yeah.
somebody noticed that you were drinking a
Right.
lot more, rather more than social. What you call it, social drinking?
It could say that it started getting out of control sometimes, that it was actually noticeable. Mm-hmm. And then of course, at one time, my brother and I used to argue a lot while drinking. And then
Yeah.
as time
So
went on,
that-
things happened.
Yeah. So at some point, did you, other than people that love you telling you, did you realize yourself that you had a problem drinking? Or did you never really acknowledge it?
Well, a lot of times in situations like that, people can actually be in denial. You
Yeah.
know, they could be in denial, and if they just sit back and took the time and just looked, said, "Wow,
That's
I'm really
interesting.
consuming a lot of alcohol," you know, because it was nothing for me to have a stock bar in the house. You know, top shelf. You know,
Yeah, all that.
all that.
Yeah,
You know.
top shelf, y'all. Top shelf. That means it costs some money. Yeah. So so are you saying that you were in denial or
For a period of time, I could say I was operating in denial.
operating in denial? Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely,
There you
yes,
go.
I would say that.
I think that a lot of people do that in different ways.
And don't want to admit it.
Don't want to admit it, whether it's got to do with drinking or driving too fast or
Right.
anger problems. Yeah, somebody that loves us will tell us about that, and we'll deny that it's that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people get too critical in that when they'll say, "Well, you drink too much," but then they won't look at what it is that they're doing that they might be
That's
in denial
correct, yeah,
from.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But I do believe that whether the person that's offering you some insight about what's going on with you is acknowledging their shortcomings, I still think that we should listen to what somebody that loves us is trying to tell us about ourselves, because I don't think people understand. You can't see yourself like somebody else is looking, looking at you and realize what's going on. So, did you ever seek any help?
Well, not to the extent that I should have.
Oh, so you did seek some help though?
Well, at one time, it was once a person starts to drinking, and even people, family members, even mention it to them that, hey, you're drinking too much, you need to control your drinking and all that. Then well, I'm just saying for myself, can be in denial. And then once it starts to causing problems, then it's when a person could be told that they're going to go get some help.
Okay, what do you mean by that? Told?
Like, for instance, I'm going to just say, for instance, if a person is on his job.
Okay, all right, I see what you're saying.
And then a person.
The employer
Could just say, well, look,
yeah,
this will not be tolerated. You're late for work or something like that. You're going to go over here to this class
I got
for
you.
a week and something like that.
And,
They throw a Band-Aid onto an ongoing problem.
Yeah, I got you now. I was a little lost about what you meant.
That could happen to.
You were told you had to go, so you went because you were.
As an example, a person could be told, they got to go to this class for a week. Boom, and problem is.
So you
quote
went.
Unquote solved. Yes.
You went, and you thought that was enough, like most people do.
Right.
Yeah, like most people do.
So.
Okay, so did your problems, did your drinking ever graduate into anything else? Drugs, anything that caused you to continue to spiral?
Well, I can't say that no, not really. But of course, back years before all that, like everyone, I've experimented with drugs.
So so it really wasn't drugs for you.
No.
It was alcohol.
That was my main thing,
Yeah, because once upon a time, I can relate. I've been locked up all the time, but I know a lot of my homies from Springfield. They told me, said, boy, if you'd have been out, you'd have been out here on that dope too. This is that. I don't know if I would. I'd probably been selling it. But I don't know if I'd have been using it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I understand that, man. Now, real quick before we wrap this up, so tell us what happened, man. not details. I just want the audience, the listeners, to get a sense of what happened. Did something get out of hand?
That's all it was.
Because I know you.
Right. Yeah.
There is no malice in you.
No.
I'm not just saying this, man. I know you.
Right.
So, what happened? In 2 minutes, give me 2 minutes. Tell me what happened. Can you tell me in 2 minutes? I don't want it to be 5 minutes. Can you tell me in 2 minutes what happened?
Well, this is something that's always been hard for me to talk about.
And I respect that.
You know,
I respect that.
There's a situation when there was alcohol involved that got so out of hand so quick.
So fast, right?
I mean, it was just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I took another man's life.
Yeah. Just that fast.
Just that fast, man.
Didn't mean it. Wasn't trying to do this or that. Right. You were under the influence.
Yeah, that.
And that fast.
That fast.
Yeah.
You know, they could just change someone's life. A person can lose their life.
And then you can lose yours too.
So it's like I've lost mine as well.
Yes,
you know?
yes. And I know that since we've been around each other here, I know that every day, if you could take it back, you would.
Oh my God.
I know you would. I know you would.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people need to know.
Yeah. It hurts me.
I know it. I see it on your face now.
Yeah.
And I get it. And I think that's one thing that people, when it comes to us, that they don't get to see.
Yeah.
And they need to see. Everybody in here is not a hardened criminal.
No.
People make mistakes. People do things and it results in something tragic happening. And but once that happens, they lump us all into that same boat. Yeah. And they treat us all the same way. And I understand that. The law has to be blind. I get that. But there has to be some consideration for people like you that made a tragic mistake.
Yeah.
You made, I'm not going to say mistake, you made a decision that really wasn't a decision that you made with your full faculties because you were drunk. And it resulted in the death of another human being.
Yeah.
And I know I bet you money almost instantly. Once you realize what happened, you wish you could have taken it back.
Yes, I did, yeah.
But y'all, let me tell you something out there. That ain't how it works.
No.
It's not how it works. So if you got somebody in your family that loves you, that is telling you to get some help for something that may be going on with you, listen to them. Don't push back. Just do what they ask. Because what you might be doing is saving a life.
Absolutely.
You might be saving somebody's life. You know what I mean? But let me ask you one more thing. I got this thing that I'm going to start doing, man, at the end of my episodes, my interviews. Mm-hmm. And I got this idea from my college professor, Dr. Audrey Anton at Western Kentucky. She's an associate professor of philosophy out there. Great woman. Mm-hmm. But whenever she comes in, you know, every now and then when she comes in and we have class, she'll do this thing called 2 truths and a lie. Right?
Right.
Where you got to we have to tell the classroom 2 things about us that's true, 1 thing about ourselves that is a lie, right? Mm-hmm. And the class, they have to guess which one is the lie and which 2 are the truth, right?
Right.
And I want to start doing that because when we do that in the class, it helps me to learn a lot about the people that I'm sitting next to in a way that I normally wouldn't get to do. So I want to make this fun and give the audience out there that's listening an opportunity to have a little fun with this and win one of my books. I'm going to give the person that emails me first right? It's gonna have to have a date and time stamp on it, that emails me first and is able to pick out the lie that you're gonna tell us out of this game. The person that emails me first at doingtimewithjoet@gmail.com and can tell me what the lie is that you're gonna tell us in a few minutes, I'm gonna send you a free copy of my book, Becoming a Murderer, The Making of a Murderer. I'm gonna send you a free copy of that book, and I'm gonna pay the shipping and handling and everything. But again, you have to be the first person that emails me and tells me what the lie is. Nobody out there that's a family member of myself or Reggie can participate in this. Nobody that works for me, helps me with the podcast, can participate in this. So, do you mind doing that?
No, man.
Okay. Let me get my ink pen out so I can write this down. And you can tell me, okay, give me 2 things about you that are true.
I'm in prison 1.
That was too easy. We ain't gonna accept that. Tell the people something about yourself that you didn't talk about in the interview. Now, again, you don't have to tell the truth on one of these things, but 2 of these things have to be true. Tell them something personal. Let it be something personal. It's easy to say I'm in prison. Everybody knows that's true.
Oh man, I'm not good at this, man.
You're not good at it.
No, man, my mind was still somewhere else.
Yeah, I understand that. I
was
understand
still thinking about how sorry I am for what I did, man.
Right.
I think about his family.
I get that. I do. I understand that, man. I understand that. Is there anything that you would want to say to his family?
Oh my God. From the core of my soul, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It ain't a night that goes by
Yeah.
that I wish I could tell his family how sorry I am, and I hate that happened.
Yeah. I get that.
So that was just on my mind when you asked me to play the game.
Yeah. I get it. We're going to put that out. We're going to postpone that.
Thank you.
We'll do that another time, because you saying what you just said is way more important than this playing the game.
Okay.
And I know you hurting, fam.
Yeah.
I know you are. And I get that, man. And I think that I wish that people could see you on your walk every day.
Yeah.
Because if they could see you, they would know that you're not like the majority of people in here. You're not like the majority of people in here. And that's because you had a loving mother.
Oh, yeah.
That mothers, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You better know it. A loving family.
Yep.
That raised you in a way to where, this shocked them.
Right, it did. Yeah.
It shocked them. And I know that you're sorry, man. I know that you're sorry. And I hope that the people that are listening understand how easy it is to end up in here, even when you're doing the right things. One slip up, y'all. One bad decision. One bad decision. So always be aware when you're out there, when you're having fun, you got family and friends at the house, or you're out at a restaurant, a bar, or club, and you're drinking. Always be aware that the more you drink, the more you become unaware of a lot of things that you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, your inhibitions are lower.
They lower.
You know,
And yeah,
and no one will. I mean, this. I'm quite sure this devastated his family, devastated my family.
oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and it's just. I just wish that I could just. All I can do is ask for them to forgive me. You know.
absolutely, absolutely.
You know, and let them know that that was not meant. I mean, it shouldn't have happened. I really hate that.
Yeah,
I really hate this, man.
yeah. I'm gonna say this though, man, before I wrap this up. A lot of people, man, you know, they don't pay attention to that last part. Most of the time when I see on the news or at a trial or something like that, where the victim's family, they get up to speak. And one of the things that they often say is that they don't want anybody else to have to go through what they've gone through.
Right.
And that's partly why a lot of families pursue the prosecution, and they want justice,
Right.
as they define it. And one of the things for me, wanting to satisfy my victims' sense of justice, as I've gotten older, is to do everything I can to make sure that their wishes of nobody else having to go through this,
Right.
I have to do my part in making that a reality.
Absolutely.
So I do that through my shows. I do that through my behavior in here.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I haven't always gotten it right. We all have our moments.
Right.
But that is something that you can do. Every opportunity that you get,
Yeah.
make sure you're talking to somebody about doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing.
Right. Make sure you are living by example so that people can see, and you already do that, so people can see that.
They gotta get God in their life.
Absolutely.
Serious, you know.
No if, and, but.
It's just too
Without
many.
the Most High, there is no foundation that is going to produce fruit
Right.
that is profitable.
Right. You know.
To you, the community, and society at large, you have to have that.
Definitely gotta do it.
Yeah, and you got to do that, man. You got to do
Right.
that.
You know,
So at the end of the day, man, I want to thank you for sitting down. I didn't intend for this to be this long, but I appreciate it.
Well, you broke me down. Man.
Well, I'm
That
sorry.
mean-
I'm sorry for doing that.
Well,
That
no,
was
I
not my
needed-
intention.
I need to get that out, man.
But if it helps somebody, fam,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
keep on crying. Cause we got some toilet paper here now.
Yeah.
You know, wipe it up. You know what I'm saying, and keep it moving, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
man.
I love you, man.
I love you more, fam.
Yeah, man. So look, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? It's gonna be okay. But yeah, I implore you out there, everybody that's listening, man, to
Yeah.
do good. Live a life that you can be proud of at all times. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you should be stiff and rigid, but if you're gonna be doing some things to enjoy yourself, be aware that there's a line that you don't need to go across. And if you can't manage that yourself, get some help. Take somebody out with you when you go. Or have somebody there that you trust, that you listen to, that can control what's going on if you do happen to go too far. And I think everything will work out. There are no guarantees in anything,
Yeah.
but always strive to do the best that you can. Always. Always strive to do the best that you can.
Oh, love, man. Need love.
Yeah.
out there, man.
No doubt about it. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.